Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, please like, subscribe and share. And today we'll be making these bumper jackets, and I used Ankara fabric for mine. It's Ankara patches. I did the patches before this video, so if this is what you're interested in, please keep watching, and thank you so much. As you can see, this came out so nice, and I'm so excited because, like, when you're expecting something and it came out the way you were expecting it. Look at how neat that inside is, and it's giving so much. So first we'll start by drafting out our pattern, and the pattern to this bumper jacket is easier because it's not like the usual pattern. So but it is very easy. So the first thing I'll be doing is for my shoulder. I'll mark my shoulder and go down to mark my armhole depth, and I'll be using my armhole curve to do that. So this armhole curve will make it easier for you to get the armhole. So next I'll be doing is to slant my 1 inch to the neckline, and from my neckline I'll be going to where my bust point is, and I'll do exactly my measurement, though I added like extra 1.5 inches for allowance and others. So when you're doing your measurement, add extra 1.5 inch. So I'll be connecting that 1.5 inch my bust point line or allowance to my armhole. Then the thing you need to do is to go down to your waistline and reduce 1 inch. That is, you do exactly your bust size for your waistline, just that you reduce 1 inch from that. So now the only thing I'll be doing now is to do my neckline, which is 3x3 for the front and 3x1 for the back. So I'll be using this same pattern for the back and front. I'll be using it for you. Remember that when you're doing this bumper jacket, there's nothing like that, or there's nothing like trying to snatch. Make it as free as possible, So the first thing I'll be doing is to cut out the excess after drafting my pattern. As you can see, it's very simple. This pattern is very simple. It's because I wanted to like do this pattern with you guys, but if not, I would have like drawn this on my fabric direct. But because I want to teach you how you can do it, I'm very sure when you want to do it, you will do it on your fabric direct because it's very simple. So as you can see, the fabric I'm using is patches. I did these patches myself. Like, the behind the scene of doing these patches was something else. So this is fabric I'll be using, and I'm going to turn to the front because it was giving me some issues on trying to get the exact measurement I wanted. So I'm going to turn from the front, and this is the back. Mind you, this is the back pattern, so that's why I have to cut it first before I cut the front pattern. So this back pattern, I'm just going to cut exactly what I have. That is, I'm going to cut exactly my pattern paper. That's excess you are seeing down there is the length, actual length of my bumper jacket. So what I'm going to do is cut exact part from the shoulder to the armhole, the exact measurement I have on my pattern paper. Then for the side, I'm going to be adding 1 inch down. That 1 inch will be used for the sewing. That is sewing allowance. It's not like your body allowance, so this is like sewing allowance. As we go on, you understand how and what I mean by sewing allowance. So what I'm going to do now is to cut. I'm going to cut the extra 1 inches. Remember that this is compulsory. Even after you have finished adding your allowance on your pattern when you were drafting your pattern, this extra 1 inch is compulsory, especially if you want to follow this method I'm teaching, because this method I want the inside to be neat as the outside. So I'm going to be doing something. So this is for the front. After cutting the back, I'll come to the front and do the front. When you are doing it, you have to be very careful. As you can see, I was arranging the front very well. So what I'm going to do now is to place the back on the front. I don't know if you can be able to see this way because my fabric is cutting and it looks like the back is aligning with it. So this is me adding 2 inches allowance to the front. 2 inches allowance. You can do 1, you can do 1.5, but I did 2. So after doing that 2 inches allowances, I will just cut exactly what I did for the back, apart from the front part. So I'm going to do exactly what I did for the armhole, exactly what I did for the side, so that everything have to align. That is, the back and the front have to align together. After getting what I want, I don't know, somehow, but I felt like I need to do the neckline. I need to cut the neckline on the fabric myself. I don't know why, but it's just 1 inch for the back. The one that is up is the back, and the one down is the zip allowance for the front. So after getting my line, my 3 inches line, I have to go down and get the 3 inches depth for the front. As you can see how I'm doing it, which is making it very easy for me. I don't want to be confused. So after doing that, the next thing now is to cut the lining. I have gone ahead to cut the lining. As you can see, I didn't cut the lining, the neckline of the lining. You just have to notch where you will be sewing from. So the first thing we'll be doing is to turn that zipper part of this jacket. Just turn the zipper part only. Don't turn the side, don't turn the neckline, just the zipper part of the lining. And so here I was done doing that, and next thing I'll be doing now is to place I don't know how to explain this for you to understand, but after turning the zipper part of this jacket, I'll be shaping this thing from outside. That is, instead of shaping it from inside, I'll shape it from outside first. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. But before you do that, make sure that your lining is exactly what your fabric is. So as you can see me now, I'm placing it to shape it. The only place I'm shaping is the side right now. The only place I'm shaping right now is the side. And what you're going to be taking out is only 1/2 inch. You know, we added extra 1 inch by the side. It's only 1/2 inch that you're going to sew on both sides. Sew it from the outside. That is as if you're sewing back. I don't know how to explain it. But sew it from the side, from the front, and not from the back. You have to sew from the front first before you sew from the back to shape it in from the back. So after I was done sewing it from the front, as you can see, this is what it's looking like. So what I'm going to do now is to iron it out from the inside. Iron it out from the inside very well. I used to recommend, or in all my videos I do recommend that you iron. Iron is essential, very very essential when you are sewing anything. So I'm going to be ironing it out well, and after ironing it out, I'll be sewing that is out. But first I have to trim out, in case if your 1/2 inch is having any excess, or maybe you can just trim it to be like 0.5 or 0.4 instead of like. Then what you're going to do now is to turn and shape from inside. That is, you are shaping the normal shaping that we used to do, that you shape from the inside. So now you're going to shape. As you can see, this is looking neat from the inside. So when you run that 1/2 inch down on both sides, it will be looking neat both outside and inside. That's the aim of this type of shaping. It will be looking neat from both inside and outside. So after I was done shaping the inside, this is what it's looking like. As you can see, this is very very nice. I love it. And also shaped the shoulder too. I also connected the shoulder together too. Then this band, I would say 12 inches for this band. Then you now curve the edges. You not make it 4 corner, that you not make it square. You just curve it like as if it's slant. You just cut it as if it's slant. So what I'm going to be doing is that, you know that I added 2 inches for my zipper allowance. Because I have sewn in half, I'll be taking 1.5 off now. So that means my band is going to start from that 1.5. And right now, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be sewing this band together with a bias. I cut out a bias. This is 1.5 inches bias. You're not going to start this bias from where the band started. You're going to start from exactly where your main fabric started. That's where you're going to start. This bias will serve as a way to wrap it around. As you can see, the only thing you need to do now is to get the get the center of your band and pin it together with the center of your fabric, that is the center of your neckline. Then the edge, the other end of your band, you measure 1.5 inch and take it to that place. You know that this can never be equal. The band and the remaining neckline will never be equal. So this is where it comes now. When you are sewing, you stretch it to reach the remaining and to be able to align with the remaining neckline, because this is a band. It's not going to be loose. It's not going to be the same size with your neckline. It's going to be shorter than your neckline. So here now, you just sew in and turn the fabric, like use a bias. See the way it's looking now. Turn after sewing it, you turn the bias and stitch it, top stitch and also stitch to come out to the front. And this is the sleeve now. I actually fixed the sleeve already because my phone ran down and I have to continue working, so sorry about that. But this sleeve is just like straight sleeve. There's no it's just the way you cut your normal straight sleeve, and you just add a little bit, like 1 inch. If your round wrist is 10 inches, you do 12. Then this band, what I did for this band is 7 inches. That is 3.5, 7 inches. I'm going to shape this side. Once I shape this side now, what I'm going to be doing now is to, as you can see, I've shaped the side. So what I'm going to do now is to notch the center. That is the opposite of where you shaped. The opposite of where you shaped, I'll notch it. Then after notching it, I'll do the same for the other sleeve band. And after doing that, I also notch the opposite of where I shaped on my sleeve. That's the same thing I did for the band. I'll do it for the sleeve. This will make it easier for you to know where to pin and know where to align, because this band is smaller than the actual sleeve size. So when you do this, it will help you to know where to stretch and know where not to stretch. So as you can see, I don't know if you can be able to see this well, but I'm seeing it well. And what you need to do is to pin, arrange it well before going to the machine, so that when you want to go to the machine, you will not find it difficult or maybe confused or something like that. So what I did was pin the center and pin the center to the center fabric, sleeve side to the side fabric, and I'll be going to my machine to show you how to sew that. So this is it. I have already secured it with my pin. Now what I'm going to do is to stretch as much as possible. Stretch this band as much as possible, so that you can be able to fit with the size of your sleeve. No matter how it twists, try as much as possible to stretch it with all your might. Stretch it. Don't gather your sleeve, don't gather it. Stretch it as much as possible. As you can see, I stretched it, and it's going to be giving you that bumper sleeve. It's gathered, but you are not the one that gathered it. It's the band that gathered the sleeve. So now I'll be sewing the down part. That is I'll be closing the down part. I've already cut out my band for the down part of this top, this jacket, I meant to say. And if your waist is 20, what you're going to do is 12-13. That is, you do like 60% of your waist, round waist. That is when you're cutting the band, you do 60%, 60 over 100. That is, if your waist, if your round waist is 100, you will do 60%. So because this down part needs to gather well, and at the same time that it needs to gather well, it also needs to go around your waist and not choke you. How will I put it? And not discomfort you by, in case if you want to zip it. And while you are doing this, use a stripe too, because I cut out 1.5-inch stripe. That means I'm going to be doing the same thing I did for the neckline, because I want to cover. I want a situation whereby once you open this jacket inside, is very covered. That is, it's very neat and no harsh whatever that you'll be saying inside. So it's very neat. In case too, if you don't want to weave your jacket, this method is also the best method, because it will be looking neat and there's no need for you to weave. So right now, what I'm going to be doing is to, you know, the way you do bias now, you turn it in and you open it at the back. So once you are sewing, you are stretching it too, because the lining, the band is have gathered enough of the down part. So whatever you are doing to bias that excess, stretch as much as possible, so that you will not spoil this hard work. As you can see, I'm stretching as much as possible. I'm done doing what I'm doing here, and this is what the front looks like. Very neat. And if you turn to the back too, it's still very neat. That's the reason. So here we're going to be putting zipper allowance, and you know, it's not difficult. I planned 1.5 inches zipper allowance for this. I'm going to be facing it, and after doing it, this is what my bumper jacket is looking like. And I love this result so much. Please, if this is your first time of watching, thank you so much. For you to watch to this extent, you have tried. Please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification button and like, subscribe, share, and peace. I love you. Thank you for watching. Come back and watch again.